So Jeff, who is Nitsan? Well, Nitsan is Hebrew for budding flower. I gave myself the name. Everyone I touch bursts into bloom. And who is Nitsan for you? Well, I create clients for you. Well, how do I do that? Here's what I do. I rescue business owners approaching retirement from the tragedy of trashing their business, their life's work, just because they've not built a business that functions without them. Their businesses will die if they leave it. So they can't leave it. And no exit plan will ever work for a dead business. So before a CPA or a tax lawyer or a financial planner can sit with a business owner to plan an exit, there has to be a business that runs without the owner. That is exactly what I create. I train the leadership team of a business in powerful habits and systems so that that team will take over and the owner can leave. It's called the pinnacle. It's my pinnacle process, which transforms the owner's business and his life. It's called the pinnacle because it's the high point of an owner's life instead of the low point. When he trashes his whole life's work, he now leaves his business when it's never been better. It creates his future. He leaves when his business will grow without him, and he can leave it and finance his retirement and leave a legacy. It's at the pinnacle of his life. These are the 5 steps that a business owner must implement to create a business that grows now and lives after the exit. So if I'm talking to a business owner, it's step 1 is stop, map out a plan and rehearse it so you have a plan. Secondly, change your mindset from worker to CEO, from the guy who just counts how many hours he works to the person who thinks strategically. Number 3, create your leadership team and the culture of leadership so that there's a group of people who are going to take over. And then double your profitability and create more time. Focus on profitability, which will create more time, and then you have the surplus in order to constantly think strategically and have the extra money that you want. And lastly, train the new CEO and plan your profitable exit. If there's someone who can take over, now you can actually plan your profitable exit. My uniqueness is that I personally train the business owner and the leadership team in these 5 steps. Anyone can be not anyone, but most consultants, they come, they tell you what's wrong, and then they leave you with a list, but I actually train the people so that they change into what they need to be. And everything I work with has a guaranteed outcome. It's the business that grows without the owner. So if I take on a client, I guarantee that outcome. I don't count the hours, I focus on the outcome, and I only take the people who are as committed as I am. Here's a case study with a timeline and profitable outcomes of my client, Stephen J. Westling Architects Incorporated. The day I entered, on day 1, I already saved him $1.25 million. This is what he said. If Nitsan had not entered, I'd have closed the business without selling. I had no other option. So already in the first day, he saved $1.25 million. After 12 months, I saved him $80,000 a year by replacing the in-house HR person who was being paid $110,000 a year with a superior outsourced professional service. Guess who? HR Knowledge at $20,000 a year. After 15 months of working with Steve, I created his legacy. The leadership team of the 3 architects is now in place, functioning, capable of replacing the owner, and in another year they'll be totally trained. So this is exactly the client that you want, someone who's long-term and profitable. So I create clients for you. So now help me bring you more of your ideal clients in 2 ways. Number 1, refer me people that you know who are my ideal prospect for my Pinnacle program. And here's what they have to be. Number 1, they are business owners or founders of small businesses and they're approaching retirement. That means they're in their 60s or 70s. Number 2, they have a team, because I'm not working with solopreneurs. Number 3, they consistently invest in training their leadership team. They're not people who just expect turnover all the time. And lastly, I can deal with any industry or geographical area. The second thing you can do to help me bring you clients is that when I bring you a client, just review their HR details. For every business owner I meet, I'm going to send them to you. So I'll meet an owner and I'll send them to you, and you just review the HR details to identify overlooked opportunities for dollar savings and solutions that will promise greater efficiency and reduced risk. So I now have a marketing plan for the next 3 months. It's going to be aggressive, and I'll be meeting good people. In June, I'll have weekly online seminars and Facebook ads driving traffic to these seminars. In July, I'll have an online event of high-level speakers, and you could be one of them. In August, I'm going to have a live training event where people actually will be in a full day or a few days of training live. What happens when I meet a prospect? First, I offer an assessment and a report. That's a one-day issue. If they want to continue, then we do a 3-month sprint in which we meet once a week and we create a personalized plan. And if the person wants to continue, we have a 1-year training of the owner and the leadership team, and that will be how he will be able to leave his business and go through the 5 steps. So every time I meet a prospect, I'm going to offer your service. Whether that person works with me or not, I'm going to be sending them to you because they have an opportunity to save money, and it's good for the world and helps me and you. So call me. Let's meet and plan our common success. Call me now, and let's take this forward. Be well, my friend.